Dr. Maya Rao was on the night shift at St. Augustine Memorial, a sprawling hospital on the outskirts of the city. It was the kind of place where strange things went unnoticed. Too much stress, too many patients, not enough staff. Around 2:13 a.m., the hospital power flickered. Not unusual. But what was strange was the security camera feed. It glitched for exactly 17 seconds. When the backup kicked in, one of the ICU beds was empty, room 308. The patient, Raymond Cole, had been in a coma for 3 months. He couldn't have walked out. Nurses swore no one had gone in or out. Security checked every floor. No sign of Cole. Maya reviewed his chart. Nothing abnormal, until she noticed a red dot marked on the inside of his wrist in the last vitals log. Not a wound, not a note. Just a red dot. No one could explain it. By 4 a.m., another patient was missing. Same floor, same circumstances. This time, there was a smudge of something dark on the wall. Not blood. Too black, too cold to the touch. Almost metallic. Digging deeper, Maya accessed restricted security logs, hidden footage. Timestamps matched the power outages. Every time the lights flickered, someone in a hospital gown wandered the halls. Someone who wasn't on the patient list. Tall, limbs too long, eyes glowing faintly in the dark. She paused the footage. The figure stopped and stared directly into the camera as if it knew it was being watched. The hospital went into lockdown after the third patient vanished. The hospital director issued a code black, usually reserved for catastrophic events. No one in, no one out. Maya received an anonymous text. Room 316. Bring no one. Come now. Heart pounding, she went. The room was empty, except for Raymond Cole, awake, smiling. You saw it, didn't you? He said. What are you talking about? It followed me back. We opened the wrong door. Then, the lights went out again. In the darkness, something moved, fast. Screams echoed from the lower floors. Static buzzed from the speakers. Maya backed into a corner, whispering a prayer, when a voice, not Cole's, echoed in her head. More doors will open, you'll see. The light snapped back. Cole was gone. In his place, a single red dot burned into the floor. The hospital never found the missing patients. Maya quit. But every night at 2:13 a.m., she still wakes up because the red dot, now it's on her wrist. Maya stared at the red dot on her wrist. It wasn't ink. It pulsed slightly, like it was alive. She scrubbed it, cut at it, even tried a biopsy. Nothing worked. The lab results came back inconclusive. The cells around the dot weren't dead, but they weren't human either. Worse, her dreams started changing. Every night at 2:13 a.m., she would jolt awake to the image of a long, flickering hallway with doors on either side. Doors with numbers that didn't exist in the hospital's blueprints. One door always stood open, room 000. Maya wasn't alone. A former orderly, Elena Cruz, reached out after hearing about the lockdown. She'd survived a similar incident 5 years ago. Different hospital, same red dot. We thought it was a power malfunction, Elena said, eyes hollow. But it was a breach, some kind of tear. Elena showed Maya something on her phone. A grainy photo of a tall, humanoid figure crawling out of a wall in a psychiatric ward. They call it the Silent One. It comes through doors that were never meant to open. Maya's wrist began to burn. Driven by nightmares and the growing intensity of the mark, Maya broke back into St. Augustine Memorial. The ICU wing had been closed since the incident, sealed off by concrete and false construction notices. But Maya found a door at the end of a hallway that wasn't supposed to exist, faintly numbered 000, visible only when the lights flickered. She brought a UV flashlight. The door glowed with handprints. Whispers surrounded her as she turned the knob. The door opened to a corridor of flickering lights and muffled screams. The smell of antiseptic was replaced by rot and static. Every step Maya took echoed 100-fold, like a crowd was following. She passed rooms, one with nurses frozen mid-scream, another showing her own apartment, but wrong. One door was just a mirror. She saw herself inside, smiling with too many teeth. Then she heard it, a slow, dragging breath. The Silent One. It didn't run. It stalked. Just before it reached her, Maya stepped into a room with no number. Inside she found Raymond Cole, chained to a bed, skin pale, eyes dull. "You're still here?" she gasped. "I never left," he replied. "I'm between. We all are." He gestured to the wall. "It feeds on breaches. We open the door, it takes a piece." "How do I stop it?" she asked. "You don't," he said. "You choose. Close the door and let it take you, or keep running and it takes someone else. That's the rule." Maya looked down at her wrist. The red dot was now a circle, a door. Maya stared at the red circle forming on her wrist. It pulsed, like it was waiting for her to decide. Behind her, the Silent One scratched at the walls, dragging something metallic across the tiles. "You're saying I have to choose?" she asked Raymond, voice trembling. "It's always been that way," he rasped. "The door marks one person at a time. If you run, it opens for someone else. If you stay..." The thing outside let out a groan that made the room go cold. "It feeds." Maya clenched her jaw. There has to be another way. What about the others? The ones it took? Raymond's eyes flicked to the ceiling. Pieces of them are still here, echoes, but not whole. Maya bolted out of the room before the Silent One could enter. She ran through the endless hallway, pushing open another door, this one labeled 112R. The air inside was thick with static, the lights barely flickering. She froze. Inside were the missing patients, standing in a circle, whispering in unison. Their eyes were stitched shut, yet they turned to face her. "You opened the door. You carry the mark," they chanted. Then one stepped forward. It was Nurse Patel, who had vanished a week earlier. Her voice broke the chant. "You're not supposed to be here yet." "Why?" Maya asked. "Because the door hasn't fully opened, and once it does, there's no going back." Maya's watch buzzed. 2:08 a.m. 5 minutes until the power would flicker again. 5 minutes until the door opened fully. She had a decision. Sacrifice herself to seal the breach, or find the source of the door, the original mark, and shut it from the inside. "Nurse Patel," she said, "how did this start?" Maya's heart dropped. Raymond had never been a regular patient. He was the breach. At 2:12 a.m., Maya returned to room 000. Raymond was waiting, but now, different. Taller. His limbs looked disconnected, like a puppet held by invisible strings. "You figured it out," he said, In a voice that wasn't his, Maya raised her scalpel. "Close it, or I will." "You can't kill what isn't alive," it grinned. "You can take its place." The red door on Maya's wrist began to open. 2:13 a.m. The lights got out. The floor shook. A chorus of screams echoed from the hospital walls. Then silence. 3 days later, St. Augustine Memorial reopened. A new patient was admitted under heavy sedation, placed in room 308. She had no ID, no known relatives, just a scar on her wrist, shaped like a closed red door. The name on the file? M. Rao.